Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Macho Miracle here, aka Dyson, and welcome to good old commentary over some Titanfall tech test gameplay, Titanfall 2, sorry, tech test gameplay. Trying to, get some gameplays used up and stuff like that, because everything I've played of Titanfall 2 I have recorded live with friends, so I'm not going to rehash some gameplay and upload it twice, so I'm just going to upload the moments, the funny moments and the full matches that we played together and stuff like that. I think I've only recorded a few times of Titanfall 2, and most of the time I've just live streamed it with my friends. So there's that. That's why you're seeing some test gameplay from Titanfall 2 back in that. It's beta, I guess we can say that, so it's less confusing to people. But it's an alright gameplay, I believe, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Titanfall 2 is a great game, so, I've been enjoying the crap out of it. It's so good. But right now, I wanted to go play Overwatch, but that didn't work out very well. They had some server maintenance going on, so I was like, okay. So I'm going to do my weekly Destiny stuff, and then I'm going to bed for the night. But before that, I'm going to do a good old commentary, which is this one right now. Good old 16 minutes and like 42 seconds, I believe, is the video I have saved for this. So as long as I'm not longer than that, I think we'll be fine. But enough of that. Let's get into what we're going to talk about, which you guys will probably see in the video, which I don't even know what I'm titling it yet. But all I know is that it's about a flywheel. Alright? So it'll have flywheel in there somewhere. It's very strange because I had to get a new flywheel for my truck. The day before Thanksgiving is when I did that. Got a good old flywheel replaced because there was 6 or 7 teeth on the flywheel that they were chewed down on my on the flywheel. So because whenever I'd go to start it, my truck, it would be like, it'd start up normal sometimes, but other times it'd go really loud like that. It'd be way louder and way more annoying. So I couldn't start my truck right away. I'd have to wait like 10 seconds and then try again. Sometimes that happened multiple times before it finally started, and I always just got embarrassed from it, even though it's like not my fault at all. It's just at first we were hoping it was just a starter, because if it was just a starter, then I only would have had to pay about $108 plus labor, which it would have only taken about I don't know, an hour to do at the most, I believe, for that. So I would say that it would be around, and then after tax, so we're looking at about $180 compared to the $435 that I spent, because it was 4 hours of labor, and the flywheel was $37, and we did put a new starter in there for $108, which the starter has a lifetime warranty, luckily. And we also put a new rear seal in my truck, replace that, because in order to replace the flywheel, you have to move the transmission out of the way, which is not an easy job. That's why it was 4 hours of labor, because you gotta move stuff out of the way, and you gotta put it all back together, all that good stuff, which my truck is working great now, back to normal and all that stuff. But the reason I'm talking about the flywheel is because, well, one, how much money it freaking cost me, and two, how many people didn't know what a flywheel was whenever I explained to them what's going on. Let's start off with this, everybody. I want to hear in the comment section, can't talk today. I want to hear in the comment section below, if you would, do you know what a flywheel is? Alright? Before I explain it, okay? So just take some time, comment down below. I'm also going to have a straw poll link. I want you guys to vote in that. I already had one straw poll link to see if people I knew would vote in it, and it's like, do you know what a flywheel is? Yes or no? There's a movie called Flywheel and all that good stuff, made by the people who made Courageous, Fireproof, Facing the Giants, movies like that. They made a movie called Flywheel back in like 2002, 2003, which I watched when I was that young. I was like 6 or 7 when it came out. I watched it right then. I've seen all those movies. I love all those movies. They're good movies. Courageous made me cry a lot. But enough about that. I knew what a flywheel was before I saw the movie Flywheel, because it explains it in that movie, but it's not about just a flywheel. It's talking about something that, a lot of people don't know about, that is super important for things to work right. And that is very accurate, especially after what I've experienced over the last week. My mechanic, though, that I took it to, was just right up the street from here. He was happy to know that I knew what a flywheel is. Whenever he said it's the flywheel, I was like, oh, jeez. And he's like, oh, so you know what that is? I'm like, yeah, I know what that is. I'm like, I know a lot about vehicles. Do I know how to fix vehicles? No, I do not. I have no idea how to do that. But I can check my oil. I can check my, my coolant, my antifreeze. And I can refill those. That's about all I can do with my truck, and with any vehicle. And of course, I can put gas in a vehicle. I can do that much, and I can replace a tire. I can change a tire, but it takes me a long time. Might as well just call somebody else to come do it for me, because I'll be there for a while, and by a while I mean a long time, because it takes me a while. But anyways, Flywheel. If you guys don't know, I will, if I remember, put a picture up so you guys can see it, but I also explain what it looks like. Alright, it's a wheel. It's got a hole in the middle. Not all flywheels look the same, but most of them will look pretty similar. And it's got, a bunch of it looks like a big gear, basically, but instead of 5 pieces, that are like 5 little nooks on the perimeter of the piece, there's a lot of teeth. There's a lot of teeth instead of just 5 or 6. Whenever people think gears, that's what they think. 5 or 6 giant teeth. No, it has a lot of smaller teeth. And from the ones I've seen, mine's a pretty thick one. It's a pretty dang thick flywheel. It is a 1987 Chevy Silverado, black metal, also black interior, so that thing gets hot. It's a hot vehicle. But I love it for winter because I can come out into my vehicle if the sun's been out, even if it's freaking below freezing outside. If the sun was out, it sucks up enough sunlight to be hot in there, so I can take my coat off while I drive, which is something that I find very convenient. I hate driving with my coat on. Also because I hate driving with my gloves on, because I don't know, I just don't like it. I feel too bulky, and I'm just like, gosh. Plus, if I leave it on, I will burn to death because of how hot my truck gets. But anyways, back to the flywheel. That it's important, okay? Basically, this is what it does. This is what the flywheel does, just so you guys know. Hopefully you guys commented. Hopefully you guys voted in the second straw poll I've made for this. The flywheel. Tell me what it does, okay? Please tell me you know what it is, and please tell me you know what it does. But I'll explain it for you in the best way I know how. Because I'm not going to get all technical, termy, and all that stuff. I'm just going to be very, very basic about it. When you go to start your vehicle, you turn the key, which then kicks off something, and the starter, it shoots something off, and that gets your flywheel going, which gets your transmission and your motor going, okay? And it keeps them going, okay? So that one little thing, that guy, that flywheel, he's important. It helps start your vehicle, and it helps things go. It helps them keep going. It's an important little guy. So whenever a lot of people didn't know what it was, I was like, okay, what's going on? That's why I made a straw poll to see. Do you know what a flywheel is? This is the first one where family and friends saw this, and I also asked people in person. Let's just say most of the answers were no. They did not know. And the ones who did know what it is know what it does. So that's good. So if you know what it is, you probably already know what it does because you know what a flywheel is. So there you go. That's great. It was just bewildering to me that something that's so important for a vehicle, even though it's apparently not commonly known, is not commonly known. I was just like, whoa, this thing is important. How could you not know what it is? You need it. You need it to drive your vehicle, to even get it started, all right, and to keep it, on, so you can continue to drive. You need the flywheel. Alright, it's just so surprising. It's just like simple things like that amaze me, of like how something I believe should be common sense, because I knew what a flywheel was when I was like 5, 6 years old. Okay, I knew what a flywheel was. Alright, I knew what a motor was. I know what a transmission was. I know more about vehicles now than I did when I was that young, but I knew what a flywheel was. Don't know how. It was probably my grandpa or somebody told me what it was, but it's like, but seeing how many people in the movie Flywheel I know what a flywheel was, it's like, God, I'm like 5 years old. I know what a flywheel is. And now seeing it today, how many people don't know what a flywheel is? I'm like, whoa. Alright, I'm no car guy. I don't know a lot about cars, but I know enough. I will say I know a good amount about vehicles, but not a lot. Because there's a lot more to know about vehicles, like how to fix them. Can't do that. I can do it. But, man, it's just, simple things like that. They blow my mind. Like how someone couldn't know what a flywheel is. I'm still bewildered, so sorry if I'm repeating myself a lot, but I'm just like, whoa, just wow. Like, come on. One of my best friends, he didn't know what it was, and his dad's a mechanic. Okay, and he knows a lot about vehicles from his dad because his dad's a mechanic. But they didn't know what a flywheel was, and I'm just like, how? How'd you what? How did you not know? Like, it's a flywheel. I'm sorry, but it was so crazy to me. I also did a Twitter poll, which I've now deleted because I don't like keeping all my polls up. I'd hate for someone to come and be like, get confused when they scroll down my timeline on Twitter, my feed, and then see, do you guys know what a flywheel is? Because some people will be like, wow, this guy's an idiot, he doesn't know what a flywheel is. And there's going to be other people who are like, what's a flywheel? This guy's a nerd, and unfollow me. Or this guy's a redneck, unfollow me. Or I don't know. Or like, I don't like this guy, he put fly and wheel together to make one word. Don't like him, unfollow. I don't know. People would find a reason to dislike it, so I deleted it. Because it's a poll. Not everybody likes polls, but on the Twitter poll, most people said no. It was like 10% on the Twitter poll knew what it was, and on the straw poll, where more of my friends and family saw it, it was more like 35% of them knew what flywheel was. But it was like, man, most people I know, or most people who have some form of contact with me, don't know what a flywheel is, and that's like crazy to me. That is very insane. I bet these Titans you're seeing in Titanfall 2 probably right now, I bet they have a flywheel in them. They have to have it somewhere because it's got an engine of some kind in that big old robot. So to get it started up, it's probably going to need a flywheel of some sort, or something that's like a flywheel. Okay, maybe it's not called a flywheel, but it does something to get it started. There's something in there that helps get it started up and keep everything going. All right, and a lot of those Titanfall pilots, they don't know what it's called. They don't. The engineers probably know, and then some of the engineers' family and friends probably know what it's called. Its exact name and what it does. Pilots, I'm assuming some of them will, but not everybody's gonna know. It's just. Man, crazy. That was the most crazy was whenever I told my friend about it, and he's like, flywheel? I'm like, dude, your dad's a mechanic. No, but I just kind of, I didn't say anything like that to him. I just explained it to him. It was like, it's important. And I have to take the transmission out. Basically, it cost me a lot of money, is the, what I was saying. So, that's fun. Man, okay. So I'm glad I got that out of my system because I really had to talk about it. I'm just glad it's fixed. It's a new flywheel. It's a new starter. Because if we only replace the starter, it would help. It would still help my not starting every time I went to go start my truck problem. But then the starter would just get tore up from the bad flywheel. But also you don't want an old starter with the flywheel because that could mess some things up too. Plus it sounds a lot better now with a new starter and a flywheel. Whenever I go to start it up, starts up way quicker, sounds way better, and of course I'm having no problems with it now. Now the only thing I have to worry about is when a headlight goes out, or whenever a parking light goes out, or when a tail light goes out, and of course getting my oil changes done and stuff like that. As long as I'm doing that, everything will be hunky-dory and will be awesome. And of course, I need to do some cleaning to my truck because some dirty Kansas rain came over from Kansas and rained all over my freaking truck. So now it's all dirty looking because it got rained on. Makes no sense, right? It does make sense because I'm used to it at this point since it's a black truck, and the water that gets evaporated into the sky also has some dirt in there, and it's freaking Kansas dirt, so it's dirty. It's messy, and it makes my truck look all gross, and it's annoying because we're like right, like fronts always come right through Kansas and then hit us, and whenever they're going through Kansas, they're picking up all kinds of stuff, and then they dump it on Missouri. I live in Southwest Missouri, where we get a lot. Southwest Missouri gets all kinds of stuff. We also have a magnetic field right along the Missouri-Kansas border. So it can do one of two things. It does two different things. This magnetic field, this magnetic line, wave, something, I don't know. That's just there at the Missouri-Kansas border. Whenever a storm is coming through from Kansas to Missouri, this is what that magnetic thingy can do, that magnetic field will do. Alright? It will either make it stronger or it will make it weaker. The storm will get stronger or weaker from that. Usually it just seems to make it stronger. Sometimes it does make it weaker, but it usually just makes it stronger. That's really neat. But hey, as long as it's not messing up my flywheel, I'm pretty happy. Because, man, that cost me a lot of money. And a lot of people don't know what it is. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this crazy commentary. Have an amazing one, and toodaloo.